These are families that have been in this area for generations, thousands of years, and to see them uprooted from their homes and everything they've ever known it's heartbreaking. The situation is very serious in northern Iraq. There's currently about 850,000 internally displaced people. There's been intense persecution from ISIS against Christians, against other minority groups within Iraq. The people that have fled the violence have been forced out by ISIS. These are family people. These are, grandfathers and mothers and children and sisters and uncles who are just trying to survive. When they left, ISIS had taken many of their items, almost all, including passports, earrings, watches, money. So almost all came with nothing. In addition to food, we're also giving out mattresses, clothes, socks, shoes, and a number of items that the people just don't have access to. With such large numbers, talking about nearly 800,000 people being displaced, you have people living in school buildings throughout Kurdistan, you have them living in unfinished buildings, they're living in parks, and some are living in camps. One of the biggest issues is being able to build enough camps to house nearly 800,000 people. Samaritan's Purse has been assisting thousands of families with food and water and clothing and materials for shelter and blankets to prepare for the winter.
As we come into winter, this is a brutal area. There will be snow on the ground. They go from 140 degrees Fahrenheit during the day in their summer to temperatures below freezing in their winter. So these extra blankets and heaters will equip them to deal with that cold weather.
One of the things that Samaritan's Purse is trying to do is ensure that every household that we can reach has heating stoves and cooking stoves that can provide warmth for the families. So far we've given thousands of heaters away and over 20,000 blankets.
We are here today in Mar Aliyah camp passing out blankets, getting ready for the winter. And I wanted to show you this tent here where they've actually written "Jesus is the light of the world" on their tent. And it's just such an amazing reminder that these people first and foremost love God, that they're here because of their belief in Jesus, yet they're still willing to make sure that the world knows that Jesus is our light. He's the reason that we live, and we love him and we trust him still.
I think when you hear a lot of stories about what's happening on the news, you tend to become a bit numb, and you hear stories of people walking for days. And until you can sit down face to face with, an elderly couple who's told you the story that it took them 10 days of walking barefoot through the desert with no food and water, and you imagine them as your own grandparents, and it really hits home because it's remarkable that any other human could force these circumstances upon someone. These are people who've gone through very intense trials in their life, and they want to know that people care. And I think one way that people show that they care is by prayer.
Reunite him, Father, with all of his family, God, that's in Iraqis.
Everyone who's been working in Samaritan Purse, keep the good work, because you are helping tremendous amount of people, and please, without you, I think people would go hungry. So please keep doing your good work.
It's been really amazing to see the response of Samaritan's Purse donors and just the level of interest that they have. And that those stories, when we can relate them to both the refugees and the internally displaced people, it's just something that really encourages them as well.